Welcome, Taurus. Okay, and Taurus cross watchers to your monthly love reading for February 2023. So thanks for stopping by my channel today. I hope you guys are having a great day and that your week has been shaping up quite nicely. So we're going to look at what each of you is thinking and feeling, and then your actions or intentions towards each other and the relationship. And then, of course, we will always pull clarifiers if we need. So if you're new here, welcome. I always post videos on Sundays. They're mini love reads, and then I post reads that are usually a bit longer. Whoa! Oh my God. Sorry. I don't need to be that dramatic. Sorry, and I always post... Okay. Okay. Not going to be judgmental. I promise. Sorry. And I always post usually longer readings on Thursdays. So I'm just looking for which deck we're going to do for, yeah, this one. And one for, what's going on with them right now? Holy sh! I'm sorry. It looks like something's not right here, obviously. We have the Five of Cups, we have the Five of Pentacles twice, and we have the Tower on your person's side. So, okay, what can Taurus expect in the coming? Shiz. Okay. So if you notice me pause a little bit in this reading, I apologize. I'm actually really shocked at the spread here because, like, where are you now? Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. Where can you expect to go over the month of February? Seven of Swords. That is deception, betrayal. That's like lies, deceit, all that stuff that nobody wants in a relationship, right? So I think we're going to start with your person here. Like, I'm trying really hard not to swear, so sometimes if I seem to pause, it's because I feel like expletives would be really helpful for your read, because it's your person is obviously going through it. I feel to a certain extent that they're feeling I feel like on the outside they're gonna pretend that that it's all good, that everything's fine. It's like, you go do you, I'll do me, and like it is not fine. And what's interesting is that I feel like neither of you are fine, number one, but you're doing the work, you're healing, your judgment here as what's in your heart space. You're making that transition, you're taking those steps forwards, and this person is still actually, they're still all about you. I feel like they may be, I'm getting a little bit of a vibe that like they're playing the victim. It's like what they did to you, they might be acting like you did it to them. And not that they're saying it necessarily. It's like, if this person is, I'm not saying that they did, but if they stepped out of their relationship, they're acting as hurt as they would if you were the one that stepped out of the relationship. And it actually feels like it seems like a very misguided ploy to somehow manipulate you or draw you in. And I feel like they could not be any more efficient at wasting their own time than trying to pull you back in after whatever happened here. So, I mean, obviously, the Tower came down, I feel like they know that they did it. They just don't want to admit it. It feels like I'm feeling like a lot of guilt. A lot of guilt with these two cards. It's almost like, I don't know if you can see that there's like a little squirrel just hanging out here. I feel like they know that whatever they did, it's like they did it to a person that really didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? And it's not that anybody deserves to be treated poorly, but I feel like you really were innocent in all of this. I'm not, I mean, of course, who walked away from who will be different for everybody, but I feel to a certain extent that, I mean, obviously it must have hurt, but I feel like you did take it in stride to a certain extent, right? It's like you didn't stick around and like, oh, please love me, oh, please this, oh, please that. And I feel like they kind of thought that you would. There's a little bit of a, it's like they're acting like they're all, you know, I think we're going to pull it back for that one before I keep talking. It just seems like they're acting like they're all evolved and they're all about love and light, and like I don't think they are. I mean, based off of what I'm seeing, you know what it feels like? I feel like they might fake being in that kind of love and light energy for so long that it's like they almost seem to want to push away who they are and what they've done. And actually the Seven of Swords, like this eye is really starting to creep me out, so I might have to turn it over in a sec. But it's almost like they feel really bad for having done it, and I feel like, and then they flip into this other energy that's like, well, you know, maybe I exploded on Taurus when it wasn't their fault and they didn't have anything to do with it, but they shouldn't have been in my way. You know what I mean? Like, so, excuse me? Because, and this is me inserting my own opinion, so just throw it out the window. But you can't treat people that way. And what's really confusing, I don't know what this person thinks is going to happen. That's not true. I can definitely see that they think they're going to like weasel their way into your life. And I don't know if they understand that that you have all but slammed the door if you didn't actually slam the door in their face. I feel like you are, it's almost like you're kind of dumping out your feelings for them, right? It's like you're keeping what you need to for yourself and you're getting rid of everything else. It's that energy of like, this may not be the actual situation, it might just be the energetics, right? But it's like the two of you were like semi living together. So like they had a drawer, they had stuff in the bathroom, you know what I mean? They had some things there. And it's like you're going through the house and you're taking it all out, you're packing it up. And it's like, it's not one of those moments where you're furious and you're pulling it all out and you're throwing it out the window. No, no. It's that like calm, controlled, you're folding that stuff up nicely, you're putting it in a box and like, and that's, you know what I mean? And it's not, you know, you throwing stuff out the window. And that's not because you're not mad. It's because you don't want anything like you're going to deal with the hurt and you're going to move on, but you're not going to sit here and get into this and a tete-a-tete. Like you don't want anything to do with them is really what I'm seeing. And I feel like this person is actually pretty devious. I keep wanting to like cover up my mouth when I say that, and I'm not sure why. They seem to be sitting on some sort of information that they feel is going to be helpful down the road. It's like they seem to think that it's like, I feel at one point they thought they had like an ace in the hole, if you will, when it comes to you and kind of trying to manipulate you. And I feel like they're realizing now that actually, no, Taurus is a lot more powerful than they thought, and I feel like I want to say that they underestimated you. I feel to a certain extent they thought that you were softer and squishier than you're ending up to be. And that's not a knock on you. It's that you were really compassionate and loving within a relationship, right? Because that's the Taurus jam. But they thought that that meant, what's that saying? They mistook your kindness for weakness. And I actually feel like I really love about your energy. I feel like you may not realize how strong you are. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Um, but I actually feel like the strength that you're demonstrating in the midst of this situation, it's like this person, it's almost like they love to hate you. But I feel like to a certain extent, it's like if this is the kind of person that will, um, you know, call their exes out in the middle of the street, or like, um, for example, if you're walking one way and they're walking the other way, but they're walking with somebody, it's like with other people, they might be like, and start whispering about them as soon as they pass. And I feel like the person they're with will look to them and be like, are we gonna do the gossipy thing? And they're not gonna do that with you. I feel like they know that they really hurt you. And it's it's like that the scorpion and the frog. If ever you've heard that story, I'll make it really quick if you haven't. Um, it's that the frog is going to kind of cross the river, and the scorpion's like, "Oh, take me on your back," and the frog's like, "No, you're gonna kill me by stinging me." And the scorpion's like, "No, of course I'm not. I like, why would I do that? Because then if I'm on your back in the middle of the water, then we're both gonna go under, right?" And it's so like they get halfway across, and the scorpion stings the frog, and the frog's like, "Why would you do that? Now we're both going down." And the scorpion's like, I'm sorry, I can't help it, it's in my nature. And I feel like that's this person's attitude. That's where they're at. I feel like it's almost like they want you to stick around and love them in spite of their shiz. You know what I mean? I feel like once they kind of got into something with you, it actually feels like it felt like a dream come true. But it's like as soon as they kind of felt that, it's like they came in and they just undermined the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's maybe it's a self-worth issue. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? That because, in fairness to this person, they're a human as well. I'm not trying to stick up for them or make excuses or anything. Um, but nobody gets the way that they are because life was great, right? So anyway, I'm not trying to sympathize with somebody that's clearly got some stuff going on. What I am trying to emphasize here is that this person does have feelings for you. And I feel to a certain extent that um, at least what I'm picking up from them is that they feel like that love won't stop, regardless of whether or not the two of you are together. I do feel if you open that door crack, this person is going to stick their foot in it. Oh, yes, they are. And they're going, you know what I mean? Like if you don't want this person in your life, don't open the door. I feel like you don't even need me to say that because I feel like you're done. With this Five of Cups here, just the energy that's coming off the card, I feel like you've worked on yourself enough to actually have some healing already. You know what I mean? Because it's like you've already dumped out three of the cups. So it's like there's one more, and then you're gonna like sit for a second, and then get up and pick up your own cup and I almost want to say like and start anew. I feel like you might have some sort of epiphany about the situation as you're going through the healing process. I feel like it's almost like it helps you to see that regardless of what this person did, that they did truly have feelings for you. And I'm kind of impressed because that it doesn't tug on your heartstrings. It's like when you decided that this was done, what that means is this is done. You know what I mean? So it's like epiphany or not, or insight or not, or, you know, whatever this person thinks they're sitting on, that's like this, you know, secret bit of information that's going to get them back in with you. I'm hearing that they are going to throw something about your mother in your face. Hold on for a second. Sorry about that, Taurus. I'm actually also seeing that you can't see all the cards, so I'm just going to move that. So the cards were talking about how this person, it's like they want to throw something about your mother in your face. Or for some of you, it's like that's what they threw in your face that may have caused some real problems. And I feel like whatever they did, it's like it was a, I want to say like it's a deal breaker. I want to say it was a no-no. Whatever it was, I feel like this person knows that they crossed a line. I do feel like they're kind of lying in wait to see if there's going to be the opportunity for another chance. And it doesn't really look like that. Right? Like it, all of the cards here are either you focused, you know, up on the divine or the away from this person. Whereas they have like, you know, the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups, which the Queen of Cups, when it's the, you know, upright, it's someone that's very loving and, you know, almost like that perfect embodiment of the emotional side of the divine feminine, right? But on the flip side, it can be somebody that is emotionally manipulative, moody, somebody that doesn't take responsibility for themselves. And I feel like this person, feels a little bit like they betrayed themselves when they betrayed you. You know what it feels like? If you've ever seen like a breakup, when one person is like they're in it, the breakup happens and they're really struggling, they're having a hard time because they're processing the ending right when it ends, which is you. And that doesn't, I don't think that you're showing everybody how you're feeling because you're the Six of Wands as your actions or intentions towards this person in the relationship, which is like, it's a big F you is really what, you know what I mean? It's like a big F you without actually sending any energy in their direction. Whereas it's like this person is kind of the equivalent of that, the kind of person that after a breakup, it's like they're going to go party, they're going to talk some shiz about you and be like, oh, it's so great to be out without Taurus, and they were such a drag, and they were such a da-na-na-na-na-na, and like, and then like what, a few months down the road, then they're going to be like, I can't believe Taurus did this to me. I can't believe that they just left me here. Like, excuse me. You know what I, like, so it's like they want to leave you to your own hurt. You deal with your own shiz, right? That they caused, and then they want to come back and try to garner sympathy with other people because you're not making them feel better about how bad they hurt you and the fact that they're dealing with their own stuff on their own. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a big walking toxic mess. And I'm sorry to say, I take that back because I don't want to talk about a person that way, and I'm sorry. But that's the energy. Like, I'm sorry that if that was offensive or upset anybody. That's the energy that I'm picking up. It's a lot of flip-floppy energy. It's like it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but Dr. Jekyll knows that Mr. Hyde is, it's almost like it's the version that where Dr. Jekyll uses Mr. Hyde as a weapon instead of it being this uncontrollable thing that just comes out. It feels like it's a bit more plotty. It's like deceptive wise. I do want to talk about this. Who's this? Sometimes this card can come off as a bit of a know-it-all, but I'm actually not getting that at all today. sometimes it comes off as a little bit like, I don't know, kind of snooty, but it actually feels like it's quite, it feels like it's a reminder of somebody that you really loved when you were older. It could be like a grandmother, maybe it's the mother that the cards were talking about earlier. And I'm going to tread really carefully because I feel like that's, if there is something going on here with your mom, then I don't want to ruffle feathers that are settled down. But I do want to say that there was something really magnificent about this person. Oh, it feels like I'm going to cry. And I feel like you miss them dearly. And it feels, it's like this is the type of situation that you could really have used this person. And not, use them and use them, but it's like that it's like they're the first person that you want to talk to. And you can't. I feel like they were really strong. I feel like they were somebody that always gave you good advice. I mean, not that they're perfect or whatever, but it's like they were never out to hurt you. And I feel like this is somebody that was like they were always on your team. And it doesn't feel like that even that you feel that you need this person. But it's like it sure would be nice to have them to talk to. I feel like I feel like they're trying to send you a signal here. It feels a little bit like, it's almost like they're trying to tell you to put your head up. Not like so you can see something, but how sometimes we walk with like our head down or shoulders rounded. It's like, I feel like they're trying to say that it's like you deserve to feel about yourself how you felt about them. Like that real pride and that admiration. It's like the reason the two of you got on so well is because you're the most like them, or it's like they saw themselves in you, even if you feel like you fell short to a certain extent. It's like, well, you didn't know the younger version of them. So I was going to say what's going on with this tower. Holy crap. So we have the Two of Cups, the Hermit, and the Eight of Wands. Oh, yeah. They done effed up, Ron. Yep, that's what happened. And I feel like they got caught. I feel like this might be specific, okay? So just letting you know ahead of time. I feel like they got caught acting like they were taking time for themselves when actually they were stepping outside. It's like they might have been telling this person like, oh, I love you. Oh, you're the best. Like, you're my mate. You're my this. You're my that. Oh, Taurus, they're, it's like they were trying to make it seem like the two of you were on the outs when you weren't. They were trying to make it seem like, they were unfulfilled with you when actually it wasn't the case. It's like you were checking in with them. You were, nobody's perfect, right? But that's like, you cannot tell me that a Taurus, you know what anyway, I'm about to step up on a soapbox, so I'm going to have to settle down a little. I feel like it's almost like they're trying to forget about it. It's like they're trying to not pretend that it didn't happen, but it's like if you don't have actual screenshots of the messages, they would lie all day long about what it actually was. It's like they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And however you got wind of it, you got wind of it. Hold on. It's like, yeah, they feel bad about it, but if you take them back, they come back in and they do it all again and they know it. And I feel like to a certain extent, like, they can love you all they want, but I don't really feel like they're going to treat you any better. Not that you're considering it, okay? But from what I'm seeing here, it's like this is how they're acting, right? This Queen of Cups, this gorgeous divine feminine, you know, emotionally responsive, but this is how they actually feel. You know what I mean? It's almost like if you x-ray this person, that's what's really going on. I feel to a certain extent that it's slowly going to come to light who this person really is. Look at this, the Tower. Goodness. They're surprised that you weren't more discerning. And let me flesh that out a little bit. I feel like this person, it's almost like they thought that you wouldn't be as trusting as you were, which is like, what a thing to, you know what I mean? It's almost this energy of like, well, I didn't think you'd trust me to, you know, even do it, so I don't know why you're mad. Like, what? I feel like this person it's like they got a lot of audacity, you know what I mean? And like they have a lot of, they got a lot of nerve coming up. I mean, I just got to get this out and then I'm sure I'll come back off. Like they got a lot of nerve coming up in this reading and trying to pull this stuff and being like, they're trying to act like, oh, but I love Taurus, but knowing full well that they're gonna come in and pull the same stuff. And it's almost like, even if somebody said right to this person, like, hey, you're creating a lot of karma, this is going to come back on you. They don't care. They don't, like, it's not even a like, oh, you know what, I probably don't want to get kicked in the face with this later. It's not there. It's almost like if they want something or if they want to do something, there's nothing else that gets in. There's no reason, there's no logic. And that doesn't mean this person doesn't have their own logic and reason, but it's like they are unable or unwilling, probably a combination of both, to listen to anybody else's logic or anybody else's reason. And I feel like that actually may be part of the reason that they're still focused on you. Like they have got some basketballs over here, because I feel like they should be grateful. I'm talking to this fox over here. Like, you should be grateful that Taurus is doing the work, because I feel like if this person was with somebody that was even a skosh like them, it's like that person would be ripping this person up and down all day long, like just would be coming at them. I feel like if they were facing somebody that had not this like underhanded kind of garbage, but somebody that was willing to get into the pit with them, oh my gosh, I don't think they would know what hit them. I feel like they seem to be drawn to people like you, and that's not a like any, that you're weak, but they're drawn to people that are kind and compassionate. I mean, we all are, right? but they're drawn in because it's like they can see based off of how kind and compassionate you are. It's like they try to gauge how far they can push it. They try to gauge to see what kind of lines they can cross. It's that where, if you're making a deal with somebody, let's say you're buying something, it's like they're going to tell you to your face that whatever they're buying is no good, and then they get a great deal on it and they go and brag about what a good deal it is. You know what I mean? And like, of course, that's I guess how things happen in business, but this is real life, right? This is not, and I mean business is real life, but like this is interpersonal, intimate relationships. It's you can't treat it like a business deal and expect everybody to be okay with it. They didn't think that you would do it. I feel to a certain extent, it's like they're almost not surprised that you cut them off. I feel like they didn't expect um, it's like, the ferocity, but it wasn't even that. It's like they didn't expect it to be over. They thought they would get a few more kicks at the can here, and that's not what's going to happen. So what's this Seven of Swords here? What's still being hidden from Taurus? Okay, y'all, look. Right? What? Sorry. So the Son of Pentacles, or the that would be the Knight of Pentacles, usually talks about somebody that doesn't. It's like they may have the slowest progress out of all of the knights, but the Knight of Cups is a romantic idealist that's, here for a romantic time, not a long time. The Knight of Swords is somebody that comes in and is extraordinarily. It's like they come in with the truth, but they do it in. It's such a like almost like a jerky movement, like trying to learn how to drive a manual transmission vehicle. And then we know that the Knight of Wands usually represents a very, not very not dependable, but not a dependable energy, someone that's in and out a lot. But the Knight of Pentacles may be slow, okay? But they do, when they make progress, it's long standing. It may take forever to get there, but they get there, and it's a slow and steady progression, and it's not this in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? It's like they're not jerking anybody's chain. So just give me a second here to just feel into the cards real quick. They're talking to somebody that knows you. I think they're going to make a play for somebody that you know. They're going to try to involve somebody in their life that's somehow connected to yours. And it's like they're going to try to pull that person in. And I feel like if they can't get to you, it's almost like they're going to try to find a way to manipulate this person in such a way that you're going to have to watch them hurt this person. I mean, obviously not, in an altercation or anything, but it's like they may take a certain delight in manipulating this person to feel a specific way about you and the situation. And it's almost like they want to recruit this person to their team. We're going to get into if that's actually going to happen or not, but it's like that's the plan. Because I don't want to speak on what this Knight of Pentacles will actually do. It's just that's this person's plan. It's like they're going to get this person that's relatively close to you, that if they can get this Son of Pentacles to say, oh yeah, it was Taurus's fault, it's like that seems to carry some, that's a more credible statement than this person just spewing off whatever garbage is falling out of their face. Sorry, that wasn't very nice. So I feel like they seem to feel like this Son of Pentacles is easy prey. It's almost like they seem to be luring this Knight of Pentacles in under the guise that it's going to somehow help you. And they seem to feel like they're going to come in and they're going to lay this trap and they're going to, because they're so smart and they're so great. Then, you know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't, I would just really like to flip off this card. I'm a little, it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. All right. So, okay. How's that gonna, what does Taurus need to know about how that's gonna play out? 4 of Wands reversed. Here's the thing. I actually feel like it's really going to hurt this Son of Pentacles to hear about what's going on, what's been happening. And what actually makes me want to burst into tears actually, is that the worst thing that they're feeling is that they feel they should have been there for you when I say you guys, but when you were going through all of this. It's like the reason this Son of Pentacles has their head down is because it's like they feel they've let you down. You know what I mean? It's like the more that this person tells them, I'll be straight with you, this person does seem to have some power and be able to cause some, some emotional damage for this person, or at least kind of kick them a little bit. I feel like the Son of Pentacles needs to, but it's like they actually seem to be able to hold on to the fact that it's like the bright spot is that I feel like the fox takes it too far. The 7 of your person here, it's like they think they've got them, and they take it just a little too far. And I feel like they say one thing that I actually feel that this Son of Pentacles knows that if that was the case, like they know it's like stone cold deal breaker. No coming back from that with you. And I feel like they have seen you, maybe not with them specifically, but I feel like the Son of Pentacles has seen you do the same thing that you're doing now and cut people off when you have to. The Taurus energy is the divine feminine energy, right? And please, it's not about the gender. It's more about, the Empress doesn't chase shiz, nothing, nada. Like, things come to the Empress. The Empress doesn't come to things, and that's in your nature. And it's not because you sit around waiting for people to save you. It's because you put the work in, whether that's work into yourself, into your career, your home, your family, your friends, whatever it is. Good things come to you because you don't wait around for it to be handed to you. I feel like that came out as a mixed message. So sorry, one moment, please. Hey y'all, sorry about that. So, also I needed a bigger sweater, so here we are. So anyway, the cards, I feel like the message about the Empress energy may have come through a little bit muddled. So I wanted to be clear that, like, you're obviously somebody that is willing to work for what you want, but you're not going to beg anything or anyone to stay, if that makes sense. So back to this person here. I do want to say to a certain extent that this person, they do have, don't be mad at me, they do have genuine feelings for you. They're just going about it in all the, like, I almost want to say they couldn't possibly, I mean, I'm sure they could, right? It's not a challenge person. But it's like, could they really go about it in a worse way? And I feel to an extent like the damage is done, man. The damage is done, and this person feels like they are going to be able to come back around, and I feel like they are going to be It's almost like if this person is used to being able to re-enter people's lives after being a POS, I feel like they kind of expect you to let them back in, and because you're one of the few people that doesn't, there seems to be some resentment that's coming from that. Can I get one final card for this person? Look at this. So we have the Six of Wands upright on your end and the Six of Wands on reversed for your person. I almost want to say, like, miracle of all miracles. This person, to a certain extent, might actually keep their mouth shut. I almost feel like when I was like, this could be part of it. It may not be for everybody, but it's like when they take it too far with this Son of Pentacles, I actually feel that, and again, please don't read into the gender on the cards, right? I feel like this person actually will start to internalize some of this. It's like they're not just going to sit there and spread everything everywhere and tell all this garbage about you, because I feel like they seem to realize that they're not really going to be believed. And I feel like there's this small voice in there that's like, maybe that's because you did something wrong. And it does kind of feel like that's something that it's like they know that it's there, but they're trying to ignore it. And they do seem to, it's like, it's a strange energy, because I feel like to a certain extent, they are happy that you're happy, but they're mad that it's like they feel like you should have taken them with you. I'm getting this kind of like the cards have been talking about, this kind of plotty energy and resentment and stuff. And then here, it's almost like this person has conflicting, not perspectives, but it's like conflicting understandings of the situation. It's like they're Six of one. I want to say like Six of one and half a dozen of another, but it's like they're on opposite sides of the spectrum. It's like on the one hand, they have this like altruistic, oh, I'm happy Taurus is moving on without me sort of energy. And I feel like on the other side, it's almost like there's this, I want to say it's like a deep-seated resentment, but I feel like to a certain extent it doesn't stay deep-seated forever. It feels like that actually seems to be something that they release rather quickly, quicker than even they thought that they would. And I actually feel that that's because it's almost like, because this person, I'm hearing like they see you as an equal, and it's like they just kind of look at the situation like they want to look at it like you beat them fair and square. And it's almost like because they're looking at it like that, they feel like that there's always going to be a certain connection between the two of you, not realizing that that might be a one-sided, because I feel like you're kind of in this, good riddance energy. So we're going to pull some advice for Taurus, and then I will wrap up the reading. So we have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and we got the High Priestess with the Lovers reversed. I mean, you know what it actually looks like? I don't know if you can see the look in the eye of this tiger, I guess. But it's like, it's the Empress unimpressed is really what it looks like to me. So what I feel here is, I mean, I'm going to say the advice, but part of me wants to say, like, do you really need to hear to just do what you're doing, to just continue to ignore whatever garbage they're throwing your way? Because I feel like it's like here you're sitting here, this magnificent tiger, and people are trying to get your attention, or kind of unsettle you by throwing cotton balls at you. You know what I mean? It's so insignificant. it's like you may notice its presence, but it doesn't make any impact. It's almost like I'm just kind of seeing you, your tail is just going to kind of knock everything out of, you know, away from you. If that makes sense. I do want to say, Taurus, hold on for a sec. One more. I know I said I was going to wrap up the reading, but just a sec. Yeah, on okay. I love it when the tarot does this. So, I'm actually feeling here that someone's really proud of you. Really proud of you. I feel to a certain extent it's almost like some people may have misjudged you and thought that you would go for this toxic shizhole over here. And I feel like this person, it's like they were willing to put money on the fact that you wouldn't. Not that anybody was betting on your life, right? But it's like this person, I feel like they believed that you would do kind of exactly what you're doing. And I feel to a certain extent the way that you're doing it has actually impressed them. It's like they knew that you would do this, but the changes that you're allowing within yourself seems to really impress them. It's like you seem to have overcome this. I want to say like you came up and over that hill a lot faster, a lot sooner than this person expected. And it's like when you come up and over that hill, it's almost like their heart is beaming with pride at what's happened here, because it's almost this energy of like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. You know what I mean? So I think I'll leave it there, Taurus. Sorry, apparently I just forgot how to talk for a second there. So I think I'll leave it there, Taurus. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. We'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.